And when we go to NBA games, which me and Karen go to a lot of, we hear this in the crowd. Like this is big business. I'm talking about people in their
What does that
phones.
sound like in the crowd?
This is what it sound like. Man, I just need him to hit one more three, man. Come on, dog. Come on. Gang could be you could be up by 20. You be down. Some of these people not fans of either team. They fans of gambling. They just come on. And they yelling at the players. Come on, Miles. I need that. Come on, you got to hit this free throw.
We're ready. We're prepared. Do not give in to fear. We are fearless. This is not the time to be afraid. This is a time to stand up and fight back and to resist any temptation for them to divide us. We're in this together. The rule of law is on our side. We will not give in, not give up. We will not capitulate. We will not bow. We will not bend. We will survive.
They're playing basketball. They betting on basketball.
Do you remember, because I'm old enough to remember, Michael Jordan, around the time his father was murdered, he was going through his thing, but there was also a gambling thing that people have just somehow just forgot.
They asked him about it. He was like, don't be asking me about that. He didn't want to hear that.
He said, no, I ain't talking about it. That's like people. I have a memory though, and I was actually covering sports back then for the news side, and I covered Michael Jordan's father's murder. I was in Lumberton, north of South Carolina. It's on the border. Had to go down and interview, and it was wild. And I remember then it's baseball, and he's in baseball, and it was just a weird, tricky thing that nobody, and there was no social media to really amplify.
And the rumor was like that year that he took off wasn't him actually retiring.
No, it was an agreement.
Right. That was the rumor. And I'm saying these rumors coming out today or reports, it's making that look like that might have been true. And I'm not saying it's true, but it felt like some of the stuff that happened in my hometown, Charlotte Hornets. I'm like, ooh, I used to say that rumor wasn't true. Maybe it's because I was a big Michael Jordan fan, but now I'm like, I don't know. Maybe that's how the league would handle that issue.
So a couple of things with this. So yesterday we gave the details of the FBI, arresting several people associated with the NBA, both former players, former coaches, current, and the mob, the mafia. But we don't know who in the mafia. There are no names. They just said the mafia. Just the
five families.
Yeah, the five families. We don't no pictures of them. No. So to somebody's point, I agree, and that there's a gambling scheme. That people are also card gambling with poker, with cheating, with magical contacts that can see the cards, and glasses that can show you what's being dealt or whatever, and as well as betting on games with the margins or whatever, so people wouldn't hit that last shot because it would mess up the thing. And the NBA now is in partnership with the FanDuels and the DraftKings, right? Or and ESPN is in partnership with and so as I'm watching this now play out, because I've watched way more videos than I needed to today on this, what is becoming clear to me is that we're in a criminal enterprise, and as long as you're at the top of the food chain, it's all good, right? So I think about this country, there was prohibition. I talked a little bit about this yesterday, where they made it illegal to, and they did this moral thing, but it was never about morality. There's always an underworld of people who grift and do things, and then it becomes legal. So cannabis, now there's a whole thing. And now it's legal in most states, but it's not legal federally because you still don't want the bank symbol. You still want to control. It's control and power. And then they tell you gambling is bad. This is bad. But then you're in business with it. So there's a hypocrisy right there. You shouldn't be betting. Now college kids can bet. NCAA is in partnership with the betting. But now the NIL deals, you want to stop those, but you want the gambling to keep going because you want people. at your mercy, I guess, because it's a very addictive thing. I'm going to play this Carmelo Anthony clip from 2021 that kind of captures to me, the underworld of the NBA, the business of the NBA. He had an exchange with David Stern after, he had the big fight and it was crazy and he got suspended. Carmelo Anthony said this.
David Stern suspended me out of everybody 15 games. Everybody else got like 6 games, 7 games, shit like that. And I go speak to him like, why you do me like that?
What did he tell you?
Man, your rap sheet.
A rap sheet?
Man. Look.
NBA rap sheet.
Mm-hmm. NBA shit. You want to be in the streets or you want to be in the NBA?
Mm-hmm. This is what he told you.
This is in his office. You want to be in the streets or you want to be in the NBA? You fucking with a corporation now.
Yeah, you're doing stop snitching.
You're gonna leave that alone. I know who you with. I know where you live at. I know where they live at. I know when you close your eyes. I know when you wake up.
Bam.
So I'm like, and I know what they doing. He's telling me I know what they doing. Mm-hmm. Either tell them to stop or you got to cut them off. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, damn, like how the fuck? Like that's when I knew NBA was part of the feds. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That's when I knew.
They got him in there. And the little one with the little 4-5.
He told me, he was just like, man, he said, I gotta make an example out of you. I gotta make an example out of you.
Damn.
That's a fact.
He said, I know everything.
I know everything.
They do be knowing everything.
I know your whole crew. I know who's doing what.
You got the best investigators ever.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Well, I get it. If you giving me, if I'm giving you, $100 million, I need to know everything. You know what I'm saying? And then that was, I didn't understand that at that point in time. It took me to get older, get wiser, to be like, damn, that motherfucker made sense.
A couple years ago, they counted you out, man.
Yeah. So Carmelo Anthony basically saying that David Stern knew everything he was doing, gave him a stiffer penalty, and basically gave him an ultimatum, which I'm not mad at. Either you're going to be in the streets or you're going to be on these courts. You're not going to do both. And we have invested a lot of money in you being on the court, so you're going to make a decision. But he said, I knew then that they were the feds. They were working with the feds. They were in league with the feds. And now all of this is coming out. Roderick Morrow, the black guy who tips.com. What's your assessment of this latest scandal? Do you consider this a scandal?
Definitely a scandal.
Okay.
So with Carmelo, I don't know if they're in bed with the feds as much as they are invested in a product, and a product is you, and it behooves them to surveil you. And at the time, he wasn't moving too quiet. He was like, this wasn't no deep research. Like, I remember those stop snitching tapes and him being on it. Like, it wasn't like David Stern need to like put a PI on the case. It's like, whoa, man, like you flagrant right now, and might have saved your life, man. Street people do not care about you in that way. They don't care about your future like that. AI used to have a posse like that, and like went broke taking care of them. Like it's like, it is a business, and it behooves them to pay attention to it like a business, and not just like you and the homies are kicking it. Okay.
Right.
That being said, I don't know if they're down with the feds like that, because in this scandal, it sounded like the feds was just doing this investigation, and the NBA got surprised like we got surprised. Like, hold on, who got arrested? When? Today. They already got the mugshot, like it was like Adam Silver it wasn't at that press conference. He didn't have a statement. Like, they seemed to be left on their back foot.
Blindsided.
They had even cleared Terry Rozier. So that tells you a lot, that the NBA's, because, listen, we give a lot of credit to these big ass companies, but I think we give them too much credit, and it helps them. I don't think we should give the NFL or the NBA too much credit with they're investigators. Really, no, they want that reputation so that when they clear somebody, we go, well, nah, the NBA cleared him, so he must not have did it, and it behooves them, because we're talking about things like sexual assault, domestic violence, gambling, like stuff that, if you believe people are doing these things, a lot of us would be like, I don't think I want to support a thing where somebody does that and gets to be on the team. So when they come to tell you, oh no, we looked into it, we already cleared them of that sexual assault charge, and you're like, okay, well, they cleared them, so it must be fine. But are they clearing them, or are we giving them too much credit when we go, they got the best investigation? So I don't give them that credit. I think all the time people slip through the cracks. So Terry Rozier, the guy who played for the Charlotte Hornets, allegedly faked the injury. I was at that game. Left 9 minutes into the game. Didn't play for the rest of the season, even though it's just a calf strain and there was plenty of games left. He fooled me. I didn't think nothing was fishy about it. I was like, damn, stuff happens sometimes. We losing anyway. Maybe they set him down. Now it's coming out like they immediately knew, like with the money, because they forget the feds. They in bed with these gambling companies, so they know the action, boss. If you are like betting $500 on the under for Terry Rozier on a random Thursday night, they already got you. The second them returns come in, they bloop bloop. Bling bling. Hey, got a little fishy evidence here. They caught these dudes the day of, like Jonte Murray. They caught Jonte Porter. They are catching these dudes because that's the real relationship. The gambling
so walk us through it. Walk us through it. So a few months ago, it was Gilbert Arenas. I remember because we talked about it on a Friday, Roderick Morrow, and Gilbert came out being all ridiculous.
Yeah, he got arrested.
Some people are saying that perhaps he snitched, you know.
Yeah, I made a joke about it. He put me on his Instagram stories.
Did he?
Yeah, I made a joke. I had a picture of somebody for the first 48 where they got that Popeyes and that Fanta. They was in there giving up the boys. I said this gonna be Gilbert Arenas today, and he posted it on his own Instagram page because he's such a troll. He has to go with the joke.
So walk us through.
Okay.
Because even as you're talking about it, it seems to me to be almost problematic for you to be in bed with the gambling folk, even illegal gambling folk. Because I know that there's always a yin and a yang. There's legal and there's always going to be something under here that is almost allowed to happen until they need to have a crackdown, because right now this administration is cracking down on drugs and all of these while I'm like right there in the White House.
So I would say there's 3 parts to this thing. Allegedly. And so that's the part you have to understand from like the outset. There's 3 parts. The first part is there's a poker game that allegedly Chauncey Billups' good reputation was being used to get people into the game, and the game was essentially rigged. I'm talking like X-ray scanners of cards, that type of stuff. Like even the people dealing the cards, the thing you sit your cards on, like everything. So they just robbing people essentially. So that's one part of it. That's not necessarily related to the NBA, other than he's involved in this game, not necessarily.
He's a coach and a former player.
He's a coach. Then there's the basketball part, which is him and, like in this case Terry Rozier, but people like rigging games and rigging results. Not necessarily the game, but like these over under bets. So like now when you bet on stuff, you do what they call player props. So you're not just betting like, will my team win? What's the spread? Will they win by this many, that many? No. You can now be so specific to be like, I think LeBron James will have 8 rebounds or more tonight. I'm putting $50 just on him getting 8 rebounds. I'm putting $20 on him not being able to hit 4 threes. Like Vegas or somebody sets the number and then you just, that's how specific it is. And when we go to NBA games, which me and Karen go to a lot of, we hear this in the crowd. Like this is big business. I'm talking about people in their phones.
What does that sound like in the crowd?
This is what it sounds like. Man, I just need him to hit 1 more 3, man. Come on, dog. Come on. You could be up by 20. You be down. Some of these people not fans of either team. They fans of gambling. They just, oh, come on. And they yelling at the players. Come on, Miles. I need that. Come on. You got to hit this free throw. And it's insane. Like players are annoyed with this stuff. They're like leaving games, and instead of people going, yay, good job, you won the game, they're like, man, if you would have hit one more 3, if you would have got one more dunk. So that's the part that's like the gambling. And of course,
okay, so pause on that, because Steve Kerr, the coach of the Warriors, spoke to that, and we're going to actually, because I want to sit and talk about the implications of this later on, because I do think it sullies the purity of fandom and the sport itself. But Steve Kerr said this about this very thing that you're talking about. Play it, Miss.
The biggest thing is that our players face a lot of wrath, fans. I know I've talked to our guys. Our guys get nasty social media posts from people who have bet on games, and that's the thing that I don't like, about this the most. I mean, just our players should not have to deal with that, but they do. They probably would anyway. Even if we didn't have a partnership with these companies. So it's just kind of the modern life, social media, everyone having access to everyone else. And yeah, it's rough. I mean, I feel bad for our guys. I've gotten some emails in the past, like, from people I don't know saying, hey, thanks a lot. I had money on the game tonight and you screwed up by subbing so-and-so in or something like that. And, I've gotten those too. It's weird.
Mm-hmm. And you could win the game and they still yelling at you like that because they had a bet that ain't about the game anymore. So I'm gonna call it the 3 P's. All right. The first one's poker. We went through that. Second one, prop bets. That's the like over under da. And so in that case, Terry Rozier, who was playing for the Hornets, he was like, I know I'm on the Vegas thing for like 15 points more or less, this, that. I'm going to leave the game with a calf injury 9 minutes in, not return. Everything under is going to hit. So he let that information out to a friend, according to this lawsuit. I mean, to this case, the allegation is he told somebody, put this money on me, bring me the money when you win too. Like, and they say it was $200,000. We'll see if they verify that that's it. But keep in mind, some of these guys are making $25 million. So they doing all this for $200K or whatever. And that says a lot because that might be bigger than just a guy who is doing it for greed. That might get into an addiction problem. Risk versus reward. You couldn't help yourself because you just got to have it. These are some of the most competitive people on the planet. Michael Jordan is famous for gambling. Charles Barkley is famous for gambling.
That's right.
Partially because they're extremely competitive, and it's another way to add something to the edge. So you're going to get in bed with gambling with a bunch of super competitive people that could manipulate the outcomes to get a little extra scratch on teams like the Hornets where we losing anyway. We not worried about the rest of the season. And now I can get extra $200,000 for not playing. Yeah, why not? So that's the prop bets. And the last one, privilege information. Now both Terry Rozier, Chauncey Billups, and Damon Jones are all involved in the privilege information part. And that is when you know something the gambling public doesn't know first. And then you like, let me go ahead and bet knowing that LeBron's not playing tonight. That nobody in the world knows LeBron ain't playing but me and whoever he told. Terry Rozier, part of the thing against him is like, and this is why I think the NBA may have cleared him because they probably couldn't know about the $200,000. What they gonna go in his bank? They can't know. Feds find that kind of stuff out.
Right.
But you got a plausible deniability, right? You can be like, I told my cousin my ankle was hurt, but I didn't know he was going to tell all these other people. Like, that's not me. So that's that privileged information. And like I said, it's kind of unenforceable until you see the results. So I got to hope you just didn't, like, how do I know you didn't just mess up? Oh, man, my bad. I shouldn't have told him that. I didn't know my cousin was like that. I thought I could talk to my family about it. Well, damn, I guess you got to sit the rest of the season because we're not sure. There should be a penalty, but they didn't dock him any money. They didn't kick him out the league. They didn't suspend him. They didn't fine him. So, like, I never knew this was a scandal. And they figured it out day one, and he didn't play the rest of that year. Chauncey Billups, he knows which players he's not going to play as a coach. He knows when his team is tanking, and they're just like, that's it. We're going to just play the sorry people and lose. He can tell somebody that, and they put the money in like, okay, Blazers, they going down. And Damon Jones is the worst one in a way. Not because, more like it's the funniest one. Because Damon Jones is friends with LeBron. And so LeBron tells him as a friend, like, yeah, man, I'm out the next 2 games, blah, blah, blah. He tells a bunch of people to put this money on, like, hey, Lakers losing or whatever. I'm like, LeBron y'all ain't never going to talk again for the rest of your life. I don't care how long you live. Yeah. That man is scandal free. He do not play with scandals. Everybody that's scandalous got to go around him. So I can't even imagine the hell he's going through. But yeah, it's bad.
Let's say all of this is alleged.
Alleged, of course.
Everybody's innocent until proven guilty because we still do have a somewhat of a justice system, I think. I don't know. And
this
wild.
did start under Biden. Like, this is a 2-year investigation. Right. So some people were alleging like this is just a Trump thing. Trump's going to get these guys. And it's like, I would never put anything past Trump's vengeance. Like, don't get me wrong. But sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's just about they just got you. You know what I mean? And we can't just keep giving stuff to people like it's all fake. Like in this case, if the evidence will speak in the court, feds don't normally miss. Just because Kash Patel used it as a TV opportunity, that's what he do. He a stunt queen. But the people that did the work,
not a stunt.
I feel right. He a stunt queen, right? He can't wait to get in front of a camera. LaCosta knows the Valhalla, but
Valhalla.
The people that did the work are behind him. Those are the real people you gotta be worried about in that room. He don't know nothing, but them people that did the work, That's who you better be looking at.
So a very popular ESPN host got on TV and said, this was vengeance to that point.
Something ain't right.
Yeah, well. I just wish, we're in such a disinformation space. If you don't know something, and I feel like it went down like this, the people that you know that are in high places told you something, so you feel like you're going to let the brothers and sisters know that this is going down. I'm not saying the WNBA ain't next on the list. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that you don't know.
Unless this is the thing, right? Because I heard that too. And I have just a simple question. Okay, how? Because if you're saying like this is about getting the NBA, you know how you got them? 3 people broke the law allegedly. This wasn't like some random, like ICE didn't come in their house and mask and come get them. Like 2 years ago, the Fed started investigating these people and it came to fruition today. Right. Like the only part that I think might be about some sort of petty grievance is the perp walk type stuff. Let's have a press conference. We don't need a damn press conference for this, but that kind of thing.
Well, I mean, it does fall under one of the tenets of journalism, which is sensationalism, and
of course. And if you, and if you run in the FBI like it's a journalistic enterprise, like let's go get the most press we can get.
Yes.
Under some people,
yes.
Right. Under some people, though, things happen and it's just like, this is business, not just we're doing the business of the law. You know what? Matter of fact, I'm glad you brought that up. I had never heard Jack Smith's voice till like last week.
And we got that clip too.
Right. I had never heard this man. It didn't even occur to me. So like, that's business. I'm scared of that business. I'm more scared of that business than the perp walk business. Cause I'm like, see, he just working. He just grinding back there. When he speak, it's gonna mean something. When you answer the phone and he be like, "It's Jack Smith." I don't know what he talk like. I'm gonna be like, "Excuse me, sir. Can I help? Do I need to get my lawyer on the phone with us? What's going on?" But this. So like, I think my point being like, I understand why people get caught in the optics because this is a very optics focused administration. But that doesn't mean that it is as little and petty as I'm going after you the way I'm going after like James Comey. Like Chauncey Billups is not James Comey to him.
No. Wow.
Even the NBA, which I love the NBA, they're not just getting them because they're outspoken. Chauncey Billups is not outspoken. Terry Rozier is not outspoken. That's not what this is. And I don't want to give them that.
Well, Kash Patel said that may have been the single dumbest thing I've ever heard out of anyone's mouth in modern history. And I live most of my time in Washington, D.C., and he has to listen to himself talk to himself. So if that's the dumbest thing he's ever heard.
He talked to Trump all the time, too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's saying something. But to your point,
I'm expecting some clapback then, because I know when other people criticize that brother, he be ready to come back at him. And after the way it went with Jasmine, I'm expecting to see some Jasmine like clapback maybe he should holler at her for some advice, because you should probably clap back on them for coming at you that hard.
Yeah, calling you dumb. I mean, in public. That's crazy.
We're ready. We're prepared. Do not give in to fear. We are fearless. This is not the time to be afraid. This is a time to stand up and fight back and to resist any temptation for them to divide us. We're in this together. The rule of law is on our side. We will not give in, not give up. We will not capitulate. We will not bow. We will not bend. We will